Glad to have you join us. This is OGTV Main News. I am Mojisola Shulaja. We begin with our top stories. President Tinubu declares 22nd National Sport Festival OGUN as Team OGUN qualifies for women's badminton semi-finals. Ogun State Government restates commitment to prioritizing farmers' welfare towards ensuring food security. Nigeria, Benin Republic launch SIGMAT connectivity to tackle trans-border fraud. Iran, Britain summon envoys over alleged spying in UK. Coming up on the business segment of the news, federal government grants China approval to establish electric vehicle factories. To join me later for more details, I am Adibola Oshomuji.
And from the world of sport, the president of the Nigeria Football Federation, Ibrahim Goso, elected as Wafu B president. I'll be back with the details of these stories and other updates from the world of sport. I am Sheyala Tongowe.
Some people want it to happen. Some wish it would happen. Others make it happen. You can watch us live on Facebook at OGUN and Ogun State Television, YouTube at OGTV Abeokuta, and on OGTV website www.ogtv.com.ng/live. For the latest news and reports, check us on these platforms: X at Ogun TV, Instagram at Ogun State Television, or download OGTV app on Apple Store and Google Play Store. President Bola Tinubu has approved the issuance of critical regulatory licenses for the Coal Mining Integrated Development Project. The project is a multi-billion-dollar oil exploration initiative located between Bauchi and Gombe states. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Senator Aineke Lokpabiri, disclosed this during the commissioning of the permanent site of the Bauchi Oil and Gas Academy in the Alkeri local government area of the state. The activation of all national facilities designed to contribute to the transformation of Nigeria's oil sector remains critical. He said the president's vision remained focused on harnessing the full potential of the energy sector as a catalyst for national prosperity. The minister noted that with Bauchi State embracing this drive through the establishment of the academy, the state was positioning itself as a strategic contributor to the human capital development required to power the sector forward. The Coal Mining Integrated Development Project, first inaugurated in November 2022, marked the start of oil exploration in northern Nigeria. It is situated in the Kolmani River 2 oil field, a border community between Bauchi and Gombe states. The highly anticipated Gateway Games 2024, the 22nd edition of the National Sports Festival, officially opened in style with a colorful opening ceremony held at the main bowl of the MKO Abela Sports Arena in Abeokuta. The event, which was kicked off by the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was represented by his vice, Senator Kashim Shettima, witnessed the presence of dignitaries from all spheres of the nation. Emmanuel Dasaulu reports.
The long-awaited night finally arrives, a celebration of Nigeria's biggest sporting and cultural heritage, Gateway Games 2024. The eyes of the world rest on Ogun State. Hosting for the second time, dignitaries from all parts of the nation converged at the MKO Abiola Sports Arena to witness as Ogun State rewrites the story of the National Sports Festival. Rasil Isiaka, Commissioner for Sports Development in the state, delivered the welcome address.
With immense joy and great excitement that I stand before you today as the Honorable Commissioner for Sport Development in Ogun State, welcoming you to the 22nd National Sport Festival, the Gateway Game Ogun 2024.
Speeches were also delivered by Chairman and Director General National Sports Commission and Chief Host, Governor Dapo Abiodun.
Mr. President directive to reposition sports as a national asset reflects the President's clear and deep understanding of the transformative power of sports to drive economic growth, create jobs, foster youth development, and build national cohesion.
For us, at the main organizing committee, we are very convinced and we are sure that by no means this is the best festival that you are ever going to observe in this country.
The Gateway Games 24 is more than just a sporting event. It's a vibrant celebration of the indomitable Nigerian spirit. It highlights our rich cultural heritage, showcases the excellence of our world-class facilities, and reflects the boundless potential of our youth. We are intentional and strategic in our commitment to transforming Ogun State into a thriving sports economy.
Then, the official flag-off by the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Kashim Shettima.
For decades, sports has placed Nigeria on the global map, not just in glory, but in grit. From medal-winning Olympians to world-renowned footballers, from heavyweight champions in boxing to our stars on tracks and fields, we have nurtured a lineage of excellence that has made every Nigerian walk taller. Our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, declared the 22nd National Sports Festival officially open.
What followed afterwards was a frenzied atmosphere, electric, a fusion of sounds, dance and show of richness of culture and heritage of the people of Ogun State, carefully and meticulously crafted in excellence. For the next 2 weeks, the best of athletes will compete in different sports for medals, but tonight it's about cultural heritage, a fusion of art and sound. Ogun State makes history. Emmanuel Dasaulu, OGTV News.
The 2024 opening ceremony of the National Sports Festival hosted by Ogun State will be remembered for years to come. This spectacular event captivated not only the esteemed guests, but everyone who witnessed its mouth-watering and meticulously packaged showcase. It was an unforgettable few hours filled with excitement and entertainment, perfectly highlighting the rich cultural heritage of the Gateway State for all its visitors. Bumi Adigun, who covered the side attractions of the event, brings you the complete report.
The atmosphere is clearer as the Deal Day, the 22nd National Sports Festival to be hosted by Ogun State is here. As the sun began to rise, people flocked to the stadium early, eager to secure the best vantage points. The anticipation was palpable, and no one wanted to miss any part of the highly anticipated event. The business side of the games was also bustling with energy. Vendors were busy buying and selling, and no visit to the Gateway State would be complete without exploring the bustling market located within the stadium complex.
We don't expect anything less from Ogun State. Everywhere in the stadium complex is full up. People are trooping out. Everybody loves sport. There's always a business side of sport. We're also seeing the business side of sport as well. So we love this, and this is going on well.
As the atmosphere steadily came alive, all the dignitaries expected to grace the occasion had arrived. Vice President Kashim Shettima was present to represent President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic. The daughter of the soil, Bukola Elemide, famously known as Asha, gracefully rendered both the national anthem and the Ogun State anthem, setting an inspiring tone for the ceremonies. The stage, designed to resemble a drum, ignited curiosity among the audience about the performances that awaited. Soon, the special performances commenced, showcasing a vibrant display of dance, adorned in traditional attire that highlighted Ogun State's rich cultural heritage. Ogun State contingent attire was spectacular as they were dressed in their traditional wares, not the regular ones, but this came with elegance. Speeches followed from key figures, including the Commissioner of Sports Development, the Director General and Chairman of the National Sports Commission, the Governor of Ogun State, and the Vice President. Each addressed the athletes, urging them to compete with integrity and according to the rules. As the ceremonies crescendoed, the atmosphere reached an electrifying peak when popular hip-hop artist Davido took to the stage, drawing the curtain on a mesmerizing opening ceremony. The games were set to begin, filled with excitement and cultural pride.
From MK Abiola International Stadium, here in Kuta Abeokuta, it's been Bumi Adigo reporting for OGTV News.
And just before we move away from the sports festival, the ongoing National Sports Festival in Ogun State is not just a showcase of sport talent, it is also serving as a major economic catalyst for the state. OGTV News visited various sports centers across Abeokuta metropolis to see the economic impact of the festival. Nkem Agu has the details.
The business side of sport is a dynamic and lucrative sector, and the National Sport Festival is a prime example of how sports can stimulate economic growth and generate diverse opportunities. Tourists, sport administrators, delegates from various states and residents have trooped out in large numbers, eager not only to witness the competitions, but also patronize vendors offering goods and services that meet their needs. The festival is projected to inject millions of naira into the local economy, especially through hospitality, transportation, food services, and informal trade. Local businesses are optimistic about the economic ripple effect of the event.
As God may have it, they are buying small, little. But I know at the end of the program, we are going to achieve our aim here.
Far so good. I think it's quite impressive. And for a first day, yes, I think it's good. And I'm hoping that it will actually get better within the rest of the days.
I'm expecting more sales though. I just started today and I'm expecting more. It's moving though, so I'm expecting more sales.
Yeah, dear. But I believe
the business is moving gradually, but I believe with time it will get better. In addition to commercial gains, the festival has also triggered infrastructural improvements across the state, ranging from upgraded sport facilities to enhanced transportation networks.
See that there's a lot of transaction has happened. I can tell you that, especially in terms of drinks, I can confirm that. You know, having to get more than 80 kg of plastic within just 3 days, that's really massive. And I feel that people are really hoping the series of business that I've seen here, ranging from food, different food. You have Calabar Kitchen, you have all of these things. And I think it's really interesting to see a lot of people coming together and then trying to achieve the same thing. Yeah, I think that's.
The National Sport Festival has proven to be a win-win for Ogun State, promoting grassroots sports development while significantly boosting the local economy. Stakeholders are hopeful that the long-term benefits will outlast the festival itself. In Kem Agu, OGTV News.
Still ahead, Nigeria, Benin Republic launched SIGMAT to tackle trans-border fraud. More news and reports when we return.
Whatever you need, whatever you love.
What makes every order special?
The
fact that it births new beginnings, inspiring us to express every shade of who we are.
Whatever you need.
It's the joy each order brings. We know this, and that's why for whatever life's needs you may have, Jumia is here for you. Download the Jumia app now. Jumia, joy delivered.
You're still watching OGTV Main News. To achieve food sufficiency across all sectors of the population, the Ogun State government says it remains committed to prioritizing farmers' welfare and sustaining investment in agriculture. The Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Bolu Owotomo, made this known at the official flag-off of the distribution of sorghum and millet to farmers and vulnerable groups in the state. Ayodeji Tomori Oluwumi reports.
Sorghum is a major staple across Africa and Asia, used for food, animal feed, and even biofuel. Rich in protein, fiber, and essential nutrients, it plays a key role in food security. Millet, likewise, is a healthy grain packed with protein, fiber, and micronutrients. It supports heart health, helps manage diabetes, assists with weight control, and is naturally gluten-free. In recognition of these health benefits, and as part of efforts to reduce poverty among the vulnerable, the Ogun State government, in partnership with the federal government, began distributing sorghum and millet to selected farmers and low-income households. Speaking at the event, Commissioner Bolu Owotomo highlighted that the state's strategic investment in agriculture is already yielding results. He referenced recent data from National Bureau of Statistics, which rank Ogun as the state with the lowest food prices in the country.
We are not only focusing on farmers, we have also distributed some of these items to the Ministry of Women Affairs and Ministry of Social Duties so that they can also reach out to the vulnerables in those different parastatals and ministries. Also at the moment, rehabilitation is ongoing across all the 8 farm settlements in Ogun State. There are processing centers being built. There are warehouses being refurbished. There are poultry pens being reconstructed across all the farm settlements in Ogun State. This is in tandem with the objective and aspiration of His Excellency Prince Dr. Abiodun to enhance food productivity in Ogun State and also enhance the livelihood of our farmers.
Grateful beneficiaries commended the government for the gesture, saying the initiative would boost agricultural productivity and encourage food diversification.
I've been planting corn, so giving me sorghum and millet is something for me to go and try also and see the profitability of it and see if I can begin to work in that line.
It's a good development, and it means our government have farmers in mind. Our prosperity, our well-being, and sustenance.
Following the flag-off, the commissioner inspected the repair of moribund land-clearing tractors, which will complement the newly acquired machinery aimed at enhancing food operations across the state. With these steps, it is evident that both the state and federal governments are stepping up efforts to reduce food crises and empower farmers across the board. Ayodeji Tomori Olumi, OGTV News.
Members of the Organic Farming Revival Foundation have been encouraged to engage more government agencies and relevant stakeholders in promoting organic farming with a view to minimizing exposure to harmful chemicals commonly used in synthetic farming. The Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Oludaisi Elemide, gave the charge while receiving members of the foundation led by its national president, Stephen Oladipupo, at the Assembly Complex, Okemoson, Abeokuta. Kola Wole Osho's report is presented in this package.
The Speaker, accompanied by his deputy, Honorable Bolanle Ajayi, stressed the need for the foundation to engage more farmers in order to educate them on the health and economic benefits of organic agriculture. He linked the practice to the ancient indigenous farming method and assured that the Assembly would provide necessary support to the foundation. In their remarks, the team lead, Stephen Oladipupo and Saka Adesoji, explained that the foundation was established to promote organic farming, noting that unlike other practices which rely heavily on synthetic pesticides, herbicides and chemicals, organic farming is safer for human health. They emphasized that organic farming is the most hygienic option as it ensures cleaner and safer food for consumption while also protecting farm workers and nearby communities from health risks caused by prolonged exposure to toxic agricultural substances. The foundation sought the Assembly's support to further promote this approach, which they said would enhance personal well-being and foster a healthier, more resilient ecosystem, ultimately benefiting public health in the long term.
The Ifekowajo Progressive Youth Council of Nigeria, IPYC, has marked its annual Youth Day celebration with a series of engaging activities at the new town hall, Okiodo, Yoruba South local government area of Ogun State. The Youth Day celebration was aimed at highlighting the vital role of young people in nation building and promoting their active participation in the development of their community. Toyin Ogundipe reports.
In a bid to reaffirm the role of young people in driving community progress, the Ifekowajo Progressive Youth Council, IPYC, celebrated its annual National Youth Day in grand style. The event attracted distinguished guests, including the Divisional Police Officer of Owode Yewa, Trace Commander of Okiodo, political aspirants, representatives of various community development associations, CDAs in Owode Yewa, students from several secondary schools, and members of the wider community. Highlight of the day included quiz competitions among participating schools, cultural displays, and lectures on community development and youth engagement. In his opening remark, the president of IPYC, Comrade Ogunjobi Waliu, gave a brief history of the council and emphasized its core objectives. to promote peace, unity, and progress within the community.
IPYC was founded on May 18, 2019 on the principle of unity and law. Our founding members, including myself and the three members of the media, came together with the shared vision of the media and development of the technology.
Guest lecturers at the event spoke on the critical role of individuals, particularly the youth, in building a better society.
How the community can be developed. It is through the help of our government and the others. And we said it that if all our hubs under Ifekowajo can work as a team together, for the community to develop, it is very easy because they can all facilitate together through the help of the government.
Everybody has the power to arrest. Now, if we say we want to have peace of mind, which means any individual that committed any crime, we have the power to arrest him. Because of security was just being only security men, which you and I know that they alone cannot be all.
Stakeholders present commended the traditional rulers in the area for their unwavering support and called for more collaboration among all sectors to foster development.
The cabinet cannot do it alone, the politician cannot do it alone, the youth involvement can bring good youth, good development. I will say this, we should use our youthful age to build our future.
Because it has been a wonderful one for the youth of the community to stand up and rise. We have some lecture we have listened to here today. It has enlightened, is an opportunity to every one of us here.
Certificate of participation were presented to guests and stakeholders who contributed to the success of the event.
Honorable Akinyode Shoyoye has declared his intention to contest the Ikenne-Shagamu-Remo North Federal Constituency by-election, promising transparent representation and accountability. Shoyoye announced his candidacy at an All Progressives Congress APC Ward 8 meeting at the party secretariat in Owoduni House, Ilishan Remo. The event was attended by party leaders, members, community figures, political associates, women and youth from Remo land.
The by-election for the Ikenne-Shagamu-Remo North Federal Constituency seat follows the passing of Honorable Mrs. Adewumi Ononuga, former Deputy Chief Whip in the House of Representatives. Honorable Akinyode Shoyoye from Ward 8 in the Ikenne local government has declared his candidacy for the vacant seat. He pledged an inclusive approach, focusing on delivering value and meeting the constituency's needs. Addressing party faithful, Shoyoye highlighted his deep understanding of the constituency aspirations, vying to deliver tangible democratic dividends. Shoyoye commended the Ogun State government's achievements in the constituency and pledged to collaborate with the federal government to attract impactful projects.
I want you to place all aspirants side by side and pick the best among us. It is part of my desire to ensure the passage of the bill sponsored by our late House of Reps member.
Federal University of Technology.
The Ward 8 chairman welcomed Shoyoye's candidacy, expressing gratitude for his commitment to representing the ward and flying the party's flag.
We believe his experience and capacity to deliver, having been in the corridor of the parliamentary house.
Party leaders voiced their support, wishing Shoyoye success in his bid to represent the constituency in the House of Representatives.
What it takes to manage people and manage competitive leader. One thing that I see about him is that his knowledge of the processes of lawmaking. He has done empowerment for everybody, including cancer screening,
payment of jam fees.
He said one of the major laws that Jesus brought was to love other persons like themselves, and that is what he is doing.
Shoyoyo was presented with broom, symbolizing his acceptance at the world level.
The Nigeria Customs Service and the Benin Republic Customs Administration on Monday moved to digitalize and harmonize cross-border trade with the launch of the SIGMAT connectivity between the two countries. Speaking during the launch, the Controller General of the Nigeria Customs Service, Adewale Adeniyi, explained that the SIGMAT connectivity launch marks a major milestone in Nigeria and Benin Republic collective pursuit of seamless trade integration and regional economic transformation across West Africa. The concept, he said, was conceived over a decade ago, and the electronic platform was designed to achieve a number of objectives. According to him, implementation of this has started with deployment in several African states, Niger, Cote d'Ivoire, Mali, Ghana, and Togo, with the support and assistance of the ECOWAS Commission and the German Development Corporation, GIZ. In his address, the DG of the Benin Republic Customs Administration, Atijatu Asani Zanove, explained that SIGMAT will facilitate the movement of goods and also help fight against fraud, frustrating seamless trans-border trade.
You know that sometimes seeing is believing, and that you prefer to see what you're buying before you pay. If this is you, you can pick up any of your items at a Jumia pickup station near you and then pay. Download the Jumia app today. Jumia, joy delivered.
To ensure constant interface among pensioners in Ogun State, retired civil service administrative officers converged on Abeokuta for their first triennial congress to brainstorm on issues affecting members at the center stage, issues of capacity building for retirees, effective healthcare, sustainable lifestyles were discussed at the congress with the theme coping with economic challenges of retirees in Nigeria. Taiwo Fabajo reports.
The OGUN Administrative Retirees Congress brings together retired administrative officers, including retired heads of service, retired permanent secretaries, retired directors, among others from across the state. Chairman of the forum, Alhaji Shefiu Rashid, while setting the tone of the Congress, gave insight into its establishment as a means of contributing their quota to the development of the nation through deliberate and well-thought-out policies.
This forum aims to bridge that gap, providing a conduit for our collective expertise to continue shaping the future of our state and nation.
Keynote speaker Alhaji Adekunle Adegbite, a retired permanent secretary, enjoined other retirees to participate in low-risk investment and explore income-generating opportunities.
Debt management, avoid taking on unnecessary debt and provide strategies for managing existing debts. Then prioritize needs over wants. Encourage a shift in mindset towards focusing on essential spending, know your needs and know what you want.
In various goodwill messages, some guests and members of the forum urged retirees to engage in digital literacy, prioritize their mental health, enroll in health insurance scheme, and see to the affairs of administrative tasks still in service. Some retired heads of service also enjoined members not to see retirement as end of their career.
Contentment is the main thing. Once you are contented, you won't go beyond your means. You know your fixed pension. Try to live within your limits.
We should plan for retirement, and we should not see it as the end of life.
retirement is very interesting if you plan very well.
The forum, after the lecture, launched its new constitution as handled by former governor of Ogun State, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, represented by former permanent secretary, Engineer Kayode Ademolake, and ably supported by retired heads of service and permanent secretaries, while substantial amount of funds was raised. Taiwo Fabajo, OGTV News.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has clarified its stance regarding the nationwide ban on sachet alcohol. The director of the FCT Directorate of the agency, Kenneth Azikiwe, in Abuja, said the temporary lifting of the ban was only valid until December 31, 2025. He emphasized that the recent ministerial lifting of the ban was not permanent and urged the public to disregard misinformation suggesting that the government had permanently lifted the restriction. He highlighted NAFDAC's ongoing efforts to sensitize the public across the country, noting that awareness campaigns had reached every state. Azikiwe also commended the Distillers and Beverages Association of Nigeria for supporting the awareness drive. He reassured the public that NAFDAC remains fully committed to regulating alcohol consumption and reiterated the sachet alcohol products containing less than 200 milliliters would be phased out after December 2025. Christians have been advised to be active and not passive about their assignment, as everyone will account for all their deeds on the last day before God. Right Reverend Johnson Akinpelu gave the admonition during the closing ceremony and Thanksgiving service for the third session of the 14th Synod held at St. Peter's Anglican Church, Ishara Remo, Ogun State. Nkem Agu reports.
The Diocese of Remo Church of Nigeria, Anglican Communion, ended the third session of the 14th Synod with a Thanksgiving service at the St. Peter's Anglican Church in Ishara Remo, Ogun State. In his sermon, the Bishop of Lagos Mainland, Right Reverend Johnson Akinpelu, appreciated the priests and delegates from different dioceses who were present for the synod and charged them to be faithful stewards in their various stations as Christ expects them to serve faithfully.
It is difficult to separate the operation of the Holy Spirit in baptism. But what it is this. We know everything about that. But St. Paul tells us, he says, baptism, even the Eucharist, there is no guarantee. Why? Sacraments by themselves are not a guarantee. That is what we do.
Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun, represented by the State Head of Service, Mr. Kehinde Onosoya, appreciated the Diocese of Remo Anglican Communion for their unwavering support, assuring the gathering of the administrative's commitment to security of lives and properties of residents of the state.
This sacred truth holds profound implications even for us in government. It challenges us to pursue public service, not as a means of power, but as a ministry in which justice, compassion, and integrity thrive.
The congregation later danced to the altar in gratitude to God for his many blessings in their lives. The diocesan bishop and Archbishop of Lagos Ecclesiastical Province, Most Reverend Dr. Olushino Fakwe, shared his excitement on the turnout of the delegates and clergy.
As a result of our experience of baptism, the newness of life that is expected of us, we should just manifest that so that people will know that these ones indeed, they have been with Christ, and wherever we find ourselves, we must be able to showcase the light of God in the permissive society in which we are.
Highlights of the ceremony included the inauguration of the local organizing committee for 2026 Synod, music ministration by Yemi Ogunbi Anglican School Choir, the Clergy Wives Choir, and award of bursary to children of the clergy. Inkem Agu, OGTV News.
Thank you, Ken. It's now time for business news. Glad to have you on the business segment of the news. The Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Yu Donghai, has harped on the imperative of enhanced collaboration between China and Nigeria in unlocking the potential of Nigeria's solid minerals sector through the establishment of electric vehicle factories in Nigeria. Donghai disclosed this while paying a courtesy visit to the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Dele Alaki, in his office, where he emphasized the importance of closer ties between both nations in advancing Nigeria's industrial growth. A statement by the Minister's Special Assistant on Media, Segun Tomori, disclosed plans by China to establish electric vehicle factories in Nigeria. The ambassador said Nigeria is a great country blessed with tremendous natural resources, noting that China has always placed Nigeria in a very pivotal position in its foreign policy. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, recorded a significant decline of 4.145 trillion naira in net loans and receivables in 2024, driven primarily by a reduction in its overdraft exposure to the federal government and changes across other loan categories. According to the Apex Bank's audited financial statement, net loans and receivables at the bank level dropped from 16.122 trillion naira in 2023 to 11.977 trillion naira in 2024. At the group level, the figure declined from 15.091 trillion naira to 10.959 trillion naira, reflecting a 4.132 trillion naira drop. The most substantial adjustment came from the overdraft extended to the federal government under the Ways and Means provision. The Ways and Means provisions in Nigeria refers to the CBN's practice of extending temporary advances to the federal government to cover short-term funding gaps. Governed by Section 38 of the CBN Act 2007, this facility allows the government to borrow up to 5% of its previous year's actual revenue. The leadership of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited embarked on an inspection visit to the Kaduna Refining and Petrochemical Company and the Port Harcourt Refining Company as part of effort to ascertain the level of work done and ensure operational effectiveness of its refineries. The NNPCL Executive Vice President, downstream Mr. Muhammadu Azu, and the Executive Vice President, upstream, Ondija, conducted the inspection tours across both refineries. The NNPCL disclosed this in a post on its social media platform in Abuja. This development comes against the backdrop of the recent sacking of the managing directors of the 3 refineries under the purview of NNPCL. The refineries include the Port Harcourt Refining Company, Wari Refining and Petrochemical Company, and the Kaduna Refining and Petrochemical Company. The Depot and Petroleum Product Marketers Association of Nigeria has said that its members can only buy premium motor spirit petrol from the Dangote Petroleum Refinery, as the refineries owned by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited cannot optimally produce premium motor spirit, but NAFA. DAPMAN's Executive Secretary Olufemi Adewale confirmed this in a chat on Sunday. According to him, DAPMAN members are ready to lift petroleum product from the Dangote refinery as the only viable petrol producing facility in the country. Consequently, he stressed that the marketers will only resort to importation if they cannot get the product locally. He highlighted that the Dangote refinery was not ready to sell premium motor spirit to its members who wanted to buy in bulk. Adewale clarified that his members will not go to the Port Harcourt or Warri refineries for petrol because the facilities are producing naphtha, not optimally producing the much needed petrol. And that was the business segment of the news. Over to Mojisola for the rest of our bulletin. To stay with us. You're still watching OGTV News. It's time now to bring you the foreign segment. Britain and Iran have summoned each other's envoys after 3 Iranians were charged with spying in the UK. Meanwhile, the Israel Defense Forces has ordered residents of Khan Yunis to evacuate as it prepares to launch an unprecedented attack. Let's join Testimony Okeyode for more details.
And Iran have summoned each other's envoys after 3 Iranians